أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا رحمة للعالمين أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Amma ba'd, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise and glory belongs to Allah, the most merciful being that has bestowed His countless blessings upon all of us. And out of all the blessings that He has bestowed upon us, the biggest blessing of His is us knowing and loving Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
It is truly an honor to be part of His nation. It is an honor to know Him. It is an honor to call Him as a prophet of ours. It is an honor that we have the holy progeny from His, and we have that love inside of our hearts for Him and His progeny. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to be the true followers that it is their right for us to be. What we've been talking about, and I think generally when a speaker comes, they'll tell you a topic and then they'll talk about it. And I kind of not did the same. I kind of did the opposite. I haven't told you the topic yet. So therefore every day I'm told to advise you about the month of my Ramadan, although I don't really talk about that. And generally what happens is that when the speaker tells you the topic and goes through the 10-15 days, and I've noticed this, that when I will come and I'll ask, okay, you had a speaker before, what was their topic? And generally people don't have any idea, right? So, so basically, if now that we're almost done now, I'll let you know what we've been talking about and try to see if you can summarize of the word that I give you. Okay, see if all this talk that we've had is basically dealing with that one word or that topic that I'm about to give you. So what we have spoken about in the last since the 29th of June is about self-awareness. Okay. So once a person becomes self-aware, the illusions that this world has to offer, they no longer exist. The way actually the reality is, you find out. When you become self-aware, you'll understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a being that you need to connect to without any fear or greed. Fear, basically the reason why I said that, fear is I don't want to go to hell, I don't want to burn in it, so therefore I'm afraid of the hellfire and all the punishment, and I will get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or I'll connect to Him. Greed, the reason why I say that, okay, I couldn't really eat enough here, I couldn't have enough, for example, wife or home or shelter or all the different things like, big cars and all this. So but the greed is still inside, and I'll say, okay, because over there's rivers running of honey and milk, and the trees are there and the big houses. And how big the houses are, you cannot imagine. There's a verse of the Quran that says that the person, one individual who's going to be given the heaven would have enough space as it is the 280 billion galaxies that man has discovered so far. So whatever is in the heavens and the earth, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created right now, what we have come up to find out with all the high telescopes that we have, is that there is 280 or 260 billion galaxies, and there is trillions of planets and stars. And between one star to the other, there could be millions of years of light years apart. Right? Light years are different than our year. Light travels at the speed of 300,000 kilometers per second. Right? And they would be like, millions of light years away. The stars that you see in the sky no longer exist, some of them. Some of those stars don't exist anymore. They've already, Qiyamah has come. Qiyamah has come on those planets and stars. Qiyamah basically the planet exploding. So that planet has exploded, that star has exploded, right? And the light of it is still just reaching us. And it could have been millions or thousands of years that planet is no longer there. But the light is just reaching us now. Right? So if you go tomorrow, the same star that you might see might not be there. Because if the light has reached us and then there is no more light, then it's finished. So one house or one place, the space of whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created is, I want that. Right? So greed. So with greed we would want to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you look at all of the things that I've spoken about, they do come and they fall into the folder of self-awareness, and that is the best month to become self-aware, because self-aware is a condition that a person can get. Alright? And this is the best month to become self-aware. You guys understand that we are not self-aware? You know that? Like you have to actually work on that, and you have to develop that. It becomes a skill, it becomes a habit. It is actually something that people, although you have yourself, but you're not aware of it. If you just think about right now, and I'll just say a little bit, and then we'll go back to what we were talking about yesterday. If you think about it right now, your awareness deals with your five senses, and your five senses are collecting the data from all around your environment. Right? So data feeds are coming. Is it cold? Is it hot? It's nice fan. The voice of Maulana is making me sleepy. I'm really hungry. Right? The voices, the rest of the people coming in, the smell of the food, all of this is information that your five senses are collecting. And in that process, you go through your whole day. So you're aware of your surrounding, but you're not aware of yourself. In order for you to become aware of yourself, you would need to get out of these distractions and focus on yourself, which is difficult. It's not easy. Okay? So yesterday what we were talking about is that we have this religion of ours, which is brought down by the creator of all of the universes, the most merciful, the knowledgeable, the high and mighty, and the one who loves us more than our mothers. And he brought this religion down with the best of his prophets, the most honorable of his creations, the best of role models, and he did not spare any expense in getting that deliverance and guidance to us. Okay? And especially like the Quran that you have here, in order for the Quran to be saved, Islam to be saved, the amount of sacrifices that have been given. Right? If you think about it, the amount of sacrifice that has been given for Islam to be right now in front of you and I. In the last, not 1400 years, please do not, in your minds, do not limit Islam to 1400 years. Inna deena indallahi al-Islam. Only religion with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Islam. All the 124,000 prophets, they were Muslims. And all of those individuals who followed those 124,000 prophets, they were Muslims. And the ones who did not follow those prophets, they were kafirs. They were unbelievers. The ones who followed these prophets, they were believers. So throughout man being on this earth, there's only been one religion, and that is Islam. Do not get Islam, oh, it's 1400 years. No, I mean Islam is 1400 years ago was the last prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of that chain of 124,000 prophets came on the face of this earth. And then from there, as we have our belief that from that the succession of the prophets started, and these individuals that we have our belief in, that are the successors of the prophets, they were just like the prophet. In character, in action, in speech, in everything, they were just like the prophet of Islam, the last prophet of Islam. It is something that it becomes a little bit difficult. When we say Hazrat Ibrahim, he is our prophet. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have peace and blessings, alayhi salatu wasalam. May have peace and blessings upon him. But we do not connect to him as, for example, if a Jewish person hears the name Ibrahim. Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is my prophet, is a prophet of Islam. But when his name comes, I don't get as connected to him as if a Christian would hear. Right? So either it is kind of a little bit natural as well, but it is also to do that we put less emphasis on the prophets, the other prophets of Islam that are there, and we put a lot more emphasis, not just on the Holy Prophet, but we put a lot of emphasis on Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. So in that process, even the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was, put a little bit back as far as our attentions are concerned, or love is concerned. And the front seat was taken by Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, because most of the emphasis that the Zakirin or the ulama that came on the mimbar just put that emphasis on Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. Right? I mean, it's all it's nothing new, right? Imam Raza alayhi salatu, for example, let's say if it was his birthday or his shahadat, what do you think? In most of the centers, the Maulana is going to come and read the Fazail of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. And they will read the Masaib of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. And in between they might mention Imam Raza alayhi salatu wasalam. Right? So, I mean, even, I don't want to go even further than that, but most of us didn't know that tonight was the wafat of Bibi Khadija Salamun alayha. So why is that? That is the reason why it is. It's because we have focused our emphasis on one, which is fine. But this focus of being attentive only for one, if it was done in the proper manner, we would not have forgotten the Prophet or Bibi Khadija or any of the rest of the Imams or the rest of the Prophets. Because we know that even that focus that has been placed on Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam is not being done in the right manner and fashion. To be honest, I didn't want to talk about this because this is going a little bit away from what we need to talk about, but this is something that I must say because my heart feels that, and this is something that is enlarged in our community, that is the way it is. We have not yet heard the Fazail of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. The Fazail of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam is a lot, is when you compare Imam Ali ﷺ with the individuals that existed in the history that disobeyed the Prophet, that disobeyed the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that had the greed for Islam, that had all of those issues, when you compare Imam Ali with them, and then you say that Imam Ali was so great, that is not fazail of Imam Ali, that is his tawheen. That's putting Imam Ali ﷺ down. Fazail of Imam Ali ﷺ is when we understand, all of the fazail that Imam Ali ﷺ got was from that one root, which was that he was a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many times have you heard about Maulanas and Zakirin talking about Imam Ali's fazilat, that he was a slave of Allah? What you will hear them talk about and what they will exaggerate on, it is as if Imam Ali ma'azallah is a god. And the ones who can recite more and more exaggerated things, they will get that sort of idea in the minds of people, although not admitting to the fact that Imam Ali is a god, but even if there is like a hint to it, everybody enjoys. So even that focus that we placed on Imam Ali was put in the wrong fashion and manner. Even if that focus was placed in the right fashion and manner, we would not have forgotten the Prophet or any of our Imam Masumin or any of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. And it's apparent in our day-to-day life, when you, after you're done your salah, how many times have we remembered Imam Taqi alayhi salatu wasalam, Imam Naqi alayhi salatu wasalam, Imam Hasan Askari alayhi salatu wasalam. We only give our salams to Imam Hussain, Imam Radha, Imam Zaman. We don't even give in totality a salam on all of the Imams. It's like me coming over and I say salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, and that's it. What about the rest of the people? In a lot of the places, nobody even says assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. They start off with Imam Hussain, Imam Radha and Imam Zaman. So why have we gotten ourselves into this position? There are many factors. Just some of the things I just wanted to highlight for you, so that you understand that this condition that we are in, there is reasons behind it. It's not just a chaos or a big bang that it just happened. Right? So Hazrat Ibrahim, Hazrat Musa, Hazrat Ismail, Hazrat Ishaq, all of them are my prophets. There was only one religion that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought, and that is the religion of Islam. And all of the prophets were Muslims, and all of the followers were Muslims. And anyone who deviated from that was not a Muslim, and anyone who deviated from the teachings of any of the prophets was not going to be guaranteed any success. See? तो क्या हमें कि एक तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की जो बातें हमें मानना पड़ेगा कि हमारा अकीदा है कि वो खातिमुल अंबिया है, बाकी के सारे अंबिया को मानना पड़ेगा। उसके अलावा जो शख्स ने उनको माना और कहा कि खुदा मेरा अल्लाह है और कोई और खुदा नहीं है, नहीं? वो शख्स मुसलमान हो गया, नहीं? इस्लाम के दायरे में वो दाखिल हो गया, जो कि आज भी ऐसे ही होता है। लेकिन उसके बाद अगर उस शख्स ने उनकी तालीमात पे अमल नहीं किया, if the person did not follow the teachings of a prophet, फिर उसको क्या कहा जाता था? या फासिक कहा जाता था, either फासिक कहा जाता था, फाजिर कहा जाता था, मुनाफिक कहा जाता था, मोमिन कभी नहीं कहा जाता था। When a person did not follow the teachings of Islam throughout, right, from the very beginning, throughout, if the person did not follow the teachings of Islam, that person was not called a mu'min. That person was called a fasik, a fajir, a munafiq. Right? Someone who commits the atrocities in the house, someone who commits the atrocities outside in the open, right? Or someone who is a hypocrite, right? But if you just think about it, in today's time, anyone, even somebody is not following the teachings of Islam, what do we call them? What do we call them? We call them a mu'min. Yes or no? The person is not following the teachings of Islam, right? The person is not following the teachings of Islam. So if somebody is not following the teachings of Islam, you cannot call that person a mu'min. Anyone who is a mu'min is someone who is following the teachings of Islam. Anyone who is not following the teachings of Islam is either a fasiq, is a fajr, is a munafiq. It's not a mu'min. With our sort of way of looking at it, somebody is breaking all the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sab kuch kar rahe, sare gunah kar rahe, mu'min banda hai, bada mu'min banda hai. मोमिन है या नहीं है? हाँ मोमिन है, मोमिन है। क्यों है मोमिन? किस लिए मोमिन है? क्योंकि उसने कहा अलीउन वलीउल्लाह। यही है ना हमारी, that person has said अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मद रसूलुल्लाह अलीउन वलीउल्लाह, अब ये मोमिन है। मोमिन नहीं, जिस तरह से एक शख्स इस्लाम के दायरे में दाखिल हो जाता है, कहता है कोई और खुदा नहीं मेरा सवाए अल्लाह के रसूल, मेरा रसूल है, उसके ये कहने से वो मोमिन तो नहीं बन जाता, वो मुसलमान बनता है। और वो भी अगर अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला ने भी कहा हुआ है उन अरबों को जो कहने लगे थे हम तो मोमिन है, ईमान ले आए, उनका ये ना कहो कि आप ईमान ले, आप ये कहो कि हम इस्लाम ले आए। अभी तो ईमान तो बहुत दूर की बात है। अब अगर एक शख्स ने इकरार कर लिया कि अली वली है, इससे वो मोमिन बन गया। वो मोमिन तब बनेगा जब वो इस्लाम के कवानीन पे अमल करेगा उस तरह से जिस तरह से अली ने अमल किया। अगर नहीं करता तो या तो उसे मुनाफिक कहेंगे, या फासिक कहेंगे, या फाजिर कहेंगे। Just because a person has admitted that they have Imam Ali ﷺ as their Maula, as their master, does not make them a believer. They will only become a believer if they follow the teachings of Islam as taught by Imam Ali and as practiced by Imam Ali. If it is done, then that person is a believer. Otherwise, we have no right to call that person a mu'min. So there's one religion, and that is Islam, and all the teachings that were brought down, they were brought down for what? لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلُنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَأَنزَلْنَا مَعَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْمِيزَانَ لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. So all of the prophets that we have sent and the books that we have brought down and the measuring scales that we have given is for what reason? It's for the reason that humanity can stand with each other. Humanity can stand with each other in fairness and justice. لَيُقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. لَيُقُومَ النَّاسُ, over here the naso, the people part, are the doers. In the scene in the end is the dhamma, that means that they are the fa'il. The people are going to deal with each other with fairness and justice. This is the reason why we brought all of the prophets. This is the reason why we brought the Quran. This is the reason why we have Mizan, and the Mizan is who? Who's the Mizan? Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Salawat for Muhammad. Right? So all of that, so that people can deal with each other with justice and fairness. What do we see around us? Especially the ones who are saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, especially among those people. What do we see? We do not see any fairness. We do not see any justice. What we see is that Islam has become a tool for all of your worldly desires to be fulfilled. Just bear with me, right? Don't take it to heart. If you're part of that category, you can take it to heart if you like. But if you're not, you don't have to take it to heart. What I'm saying is that individuals are using Islam today for their own worldly desires and positions. Right? And Islam came for what? So that this world, the reality of it, you can know, you become self-aware, and you understand that this world is not what it is, how others see it. But as a Muslim, when you see it, what you see is a farming land for the hereafter. When you see this world as a farming land for the hereafter, this land is worth just as much as what you're going to reap. तो इस दुनिया की बहुत एक मुख्तलिफ आपके पास एक इमेज आएगा. You'll think of this world very, very differently. Right? And this statement that I've just told you, let's say you wanted to go buy a house and you had a certified check of $350,000. With me, na? So far with me? But you know why I keep on asking you? Because when you're fasting, you can still be looking at me but be somewhere else. Because you're so tired and hungry and your sugar level is so low that you still, you're looking at me but you can drift off somewhere very easily. So that's why I keep on asking you. So $350,000 if the price of the house is, and you have a certified check, that certified check is just a piece of paper, right? I mean, I don't know if I have any paper inside. Now everything is plastic, but it's just a piece of paper. The paper I have is not really suitable to show you, but right? This is probably not the right example, but this is also just a piece of paper. True or not? Right? Just a piece of paper. Can I burn it? Can I break it? Can I destroy it? I can't. But can I do that to any other paper? I can. So this is not just a piece of paper anymore. This is called what? This is Quran. What's the worth of this paper now? The worth of this paper is more than any money that this world can offer you. So therefore you can't even charge a price for Quran. You just say whatever you like to give. Because there is no price you can put. How much price would you put, right? Just asking you, how much price would you put if you were to get 1 hair of the Holy Prophet?
Priceless.
Priceless. There's no price. Then how is it possible for us to put price on one vav that is the word of Allah? Can you imagine? The creator of 280 billion galaxies that man knows so far, the trillions of planets and stars, the Almighty said a word. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. These are the words of the creator of all of. Can you put a price? It's written here. True or not? Okay. So now coming back to what we know. The $350,000 certified check. So that $350,000 certified check is no longer a paper anymore. But if you look at it, it's just paper. But what is the value of that paper now? What is the value of that paper? $350,000. Just the same value as the house you're about to buy. True or not? This world has the same value as what your hereafter is. Yeah. This world, Mazra'atul Akhirah, Dunya Mazra'atul Akhirah, this world is a farming land for the hereafter. This world is a certified check. You write your amount, whatever you want. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a blank certified check, right? By the bank of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it does not have any, for sure, even if it was not certified, you could take that check anywhere, it will be good, right? Because whoever has anything is from Allah. So how can this check bounce? Cannot bounce. But he even certified it. How did he certify it? He brought the prophets and he brought Imam Masumin. They certified it. And it's a blank check. Write whatever you like. Whatever you will write, that will be the worth of your hereafter. You want to write Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Your house is being built there, your trees are being planted there. And if you are above that and beyond, then think about every time you say Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar, a curtain between you and Allah is gone. What would be the price of Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar if you can take one of the curtains away from your eyes and you carry on saying that until you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Tell me the price of that. Well, you can see your Creator and you can speak to Him and He can speak to you and you can say to Him that, I love you and I'm thankful to you and I'm happy that you gave me all what you gave me and I'm sorry for all that I have committed wrong. You could feel His existence. You feel as if you have the knowledge of His, you have the power of His, you have the mercy of His, you have all of His inside of you. Right? And this Islam is so precious because it was given to us through all of these sacrifices, and one of the beings who sacrificed her whole existence was Bibi Khadija Salam Alaiha. I have the utmost respect for Bibi Khadija. Because we generally don't give her what she should get from us. She is the mother of Bibi Fatima. She is the mother of Bibi Fatima. Heaven is under the feet. Heaven is under the feet of the mother. The heaven of Bibi Fatima was under the feet of Bibi Khadija. Can you imagine? Sayyidatul Nisa'il Alameen, the leader of all of the women of heaven, her status, her heaven is in the feet of her mother. That's Bibi Khadija. The Prophet cried for 1 year. Every time the name of Bibi Khadija was mentioned, the Prophet would cry. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam जब बीबी खदीजा का नाम सुनते थे रो पड़ते थे. कहते थे कि बीबी खदीजा ने मेरी मदद उस वक्त की है जब मेरे पास कोई मदद करने वाला. He would say that Bibi Khadija helped him when nobody would help him. We are in debt to Bibi Khadija. हर मुसलमान मकरूज है बीबी खदीजा. If she was not that much of a support for the Prophet, would the Prophet would be broken up for 1 year? रसूल रोते होते थे, बीबी खदीजा का नाम सुन के रोते थे। हम सब मकरूज हैं उनके। इस्लाम को कहते हैं कि जो बचाया गया है वो क्या, बीबी खदीजा के पास जो कुछ था उन्होंने इस्लाम के नाम कर दिया। जो कुछ था बीबी खदीजा ने इस्लाम के नाम पे कर दिया। Whatever she had, she gave to save Islam. And we, even with our lower way of thinking, when I said this sentence, your thought is going towards the money that Bibi Khadija spent. The money is the least of the thing that she gave. वो दौलत जो थी वो तो सबसे छोटी चीज थी जो बीबी खदीजा ने इस्लाम के नाम पे दी। जो बीबी खदीजा ने इस्लाम को दिया वो रसूल के दिल को उन्होंने कभी रखा। मैं हूं ना, सतून बीबी खदीजा रसूल। She was the pillar for the Prophet. She kept his heart strong. And in all of our discussions in the history books and all this other stuff, we argue about whether Bibi Khadija Salamna was the richest woman of the Arabia at that time or not. And we think that because she gave all of her money, that's her biggest task that she did. No. This is the least that she did. This is the least that she did. What is money to give in the way of Islam? You think somebody who gives money in the way of Islam is a great person? Anyone who thinks about money to be high is a lowly person. Money in front of Islam, money in front of Quran, what is it? Nothing. To save Islam, to give money, this is the least of anyone who can do anything. Where we fail as well, this is the least you can do, is to give money to save Islam or to save Muslims. This is the least. And we think that this is something, is the highest thing that Bibi Khadija did. You cannot imagine to give strength to the heart of the Prophet at that time. To have that strength inside of you, to be with the Prophet, to stand with the Prophet and say, I believe in you. I am with you. And when everyone was taunting and saying that you are going to have no progeny, how was Prophet's heart at that time? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses Bibi Khadija salamullah. Inna a'ataynaka al-kawthar. Out of all of the women of the world, my Lord chose Bibi Khadija to be the mother of Bibi Fatima. He could have chosen anyone. He chose her. I am in debt to her. And I cannot have Bibi Fatima to be happy with me if her mother is upset with me. If her mother is upset, I cannot have Bibi Fatima to be happy. And I want to say to Bibi Khadija that, please forgive us, because we did not remember you the way we should. We did not commemorate the way we should have. We did not understand who you are, what you did for Islam. We are negligent of our duty, and I'm sorry about that. For the sake of this holy month, I want you to, Bibi Khadija, I want you to forgive us and to allow us to do better so that we can pay a little bit of our debt to you and that the son of yours who is waiting for us to become on one page, for us to be united, for us to reach the places of belief. May he come as soon as possible, and that we reach those places and we become his friends and followers. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wal-Asr, innal insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu s-salihati wa tawasaw bil-haqq wa tawasaw bis-sabr.